Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. And today I want to talk about how you get your foot in the door at a software development company. So I got this question from Jim, and to be honest, I'm not even really going to talk so much about getting your foot in the door, but I'm going to talk about something that I think is more important, which is this idea of just getting out there and just being willing to fail and willing to make mistakes. In fact, it's one of those things that I'm focusing on a lot in this year in 2017 is instead of counting my victories, I'm going to start counting my failures, and I'm going to start figuring out what I learned from them, because as I'll talk about in a minute here, you learn a lot more from failure than you do from success. Oftentimes when you're successful, you don't learn anything, or sometimes you learn the wrong thing, because sometimes luck is a factor in success, or sometimes you do the wrong thing and you have success, but often failure indicates that you have something to learn. So this email comes from Jim, and he says, I want to know how to overcome the obstacle of applying for jobs that say you need so many X years of experience. I feel like I am not qualified for a position if I don't meet the requirements in the job description. Sometimes I meet only a few of their requirements and still don't apply because I don't think I'm a good fit based on what they want. So I think there's a lot of developers, first of all, that are in this situation, and a lot of people. And, you know, one of the reasons why you can be stuck in this situation really doesn't have to do with whether or not you're qualified for a job or whether or not the years of experience on the job description matches you, right? Well, you know, let's get that out of the way. First of all, forget about what the job description says in terms of years of experience. That doesn't mean anything. If you have the right person for the right job, the number of years of experience isn't going to matter. Plus, people can't really know how experienced you are by how many years you've done something. That doesn't tell you whether you're actually good or not. You know, I've talked about this a few times, and you've probably heard of the 10x developer and the idea that you could have 1 year of experience 10 times, or you could have 10 years of experience, and they're very different. And there's no way to know just based on developer has X years of experience in C# or Java or whatever it is. That there's no way to know there. So forget about that. Now, with that said, I'm not saying that you can just apply for any job without any experience in that technology or not matching it well. Obviously, the better that you match a job description, the easier it is going to be for you to get the job, right? So I always recommend that software developers tailor their resume and their cover letter to the job they're applying for if they're going in the front door. Now, I recommend getting a job a different way, but we're not going to talk about that now. If you're curious about that, you can watch some of the videos in the playlist on getting a job or career development stuff here at Simple Programmer. But with that said, let's talk about the real issue here. The real issue here is living the safe path, is taking the safe route through life, right? Because the thing is, a lot of us, what we want to do, right? And I know there's a lot of you out here that want to do this, is you want the sure thing. You want to bet on the sure thing. You don't want to take the risk. You don't want to apply for a job that you think you might not be qualified for. You don't want to take the risk of someone laughing at you at a job interview, or thinking, oh, I can't believe this guy applied for this job, or being embarrassed by not knowing the answer to an interview question, right? You want to make sure that there's, you know, before you take a leap, there's another platform there. And I'm not saying to take stupid and needless risks, but you can't live life the safe way. You just can't. You've got to get out there. You've got to do the things that make you uncomfortable, and you got to take the risks. You got to say, you know what? I don't have X years of experience with Dart, with Google's Dart language, just to throw that out there, because I just read this article that said that Dart is basically one of the fastest growing programming languages. That's crazy. I did a Pluralsight course on Dart. You can check it out here at my Pluralsight courses. So maybe that course will become awesome. Anyway, my point is this: if you don't have that X years of experience, so what? If you feel like the job is a good fit, you feel like you could do the job, or in fact, I'm not even going to say that. Let's not say that you feel like you could do the job, because just about every single job I've ever applied for, just about every project I've ever undertaken, just about everything I've ever done in my life of any amount of meaningfulness, I was not qualified for, and I did not feel like I could handle it. But I thought maybe there's a chance. I thought I'm going for it anyway. A lot of times people are like, John, what the hell? And I'm like, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. The worst they could do is say no. The worst someone could do is laugh at you. The worst you could do is fail or get rejected. And then you get to learn, right? See, that's the thing. It's like, I want to hit the walls. I want to know where they are. I want to apply for the job that I'm not qualified for, right? Not grossly underqualified for. I mean, it's ridiculous to just waste people's time, but that I feel like maybe I can't do this job. Right? I want to hit the wall. I want someone to tell me no. I want someone to reject me. I want to hit failure. Why? Because that's where I know I can grow, right? I want to get on stage and be laughed at, right? Because then I can say why. What was the gap? How did I fail? How did I mess up here? Right? I'm viewing it as a learning experience. That's how you grow. That's how you become better. I'm going to hit success, right? If you look at a lot of, there's two instances I can think of stand-up comedians, actually three of them. I think I've heard stories of a lot of stand-up comedians because that's a pretty damn hard profession, right? It's pretty hard to make people laugh, and people are going to be laughing at you, but not in a good way, right? I think one of them was BJ Novak, who was in The Office, and he talked about how he had done his first stand-up and it bombed, and he forced himself to go and for 3 months and commit to it. He spent a lot of time polishing his act, not being ready. I think that Jim Carrey also had this, but the point is this: it's like, you got to get out there. You got to be uncomfortable. Watch my video if you haven't already. The talk I did at the Xamarin talk, where I did it without slides, for the first time, and it made me uncomfortable. I talked about being uncomfortable. That was the key thing. There is that's because that's how you grow. So the real topic here, it has nothing to do about getting your foot in the door at a software development company. It's this. It's this. It comes down to this. Don't take that safe path. Don't say, wait till I'm so qualified, overqualified for the job, then I can apply for it, right? And then I can get it, because at that point, you're overqualified. At that point, the job is too easy. There's no growth in it for you. Yes, maybe you'll get the job, and yes, maybe it is a promotion from where you're at, but it's not the growth that you need. You're not growing, right? You've already grown, and you've taken the job. You've taken the easy road. Instead, stretch. Take the thing that's going to make you grow. That's how you really grow. If you really want to grow in life, you commit to something that's beyond your capabilities. You apply for the job that's beyond your capabilities, the one that makes you a little sick to your stomach, and you face the failure head on. And sometimes when you do that, what's going to happen is you're going to get slapped down. In fact, most of the time when you do that, if you're doing it right, if you're reaching far enough, you're going to fail a lot, you're going to get rejected a lot, but you're going to learn a lot, because every time you hit a failure, every time you hit a rejection, you say, why? You say, what can I learn from this experience, right? And I was talking about at the beginning of this video, that's one of the things as I've been trying to figure out. I'm setting up my new routine for 2017, and one of the things that I'm really focusing on is figuring out, ways that I can improve. How can I get my routine better? How can I make my life better? And one of the ideas that I had that's really sticking with me, that I'm really liking a lot, is keeping a log of all my failures, of all my rejections, of all the mistakes I made, and why, right? And what happened. I'll give you a good example here, and then I'm going to wrap up this video because I'm going on. But one of my strengths, surprisingly, was hiring people. I got a little overconfident, and I hired someone off of Craigslist to hang some hanging racks in my garage, right? Because I typically hire out that kind of work. And I didn't vet the guy. He's like, I do it for $40. And so I was like, okay, this is a pretty easy job. He came over, I showed him the racks. I was like, look, just make sure you put in the stud, obviously, because you can't hang these racks from drywall. And I just assumed, right? I assumed he did it. I checked out the job after he did it, and I tugged on it a little bit. It wasn't the best job ever, wasn't the most even job. I was like, okay, it's racks in the garage, big friggin' deal. So I'm putting up stuff. I'm putting heavy boxes up on there, right? Getting it all loaded up, all clean. I'm feeling pretty happy because I'm anal retentive. Like I'm gonna have my clean garage, right? And I noticed that one of the things isn't popped in all the way. So I hang on it a little bit to pop it in. Bam, the whole fucking thing falls on my head, right? All these heavy boxes, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like Atlas holding up the thing, and then I'm thinking, how the hell am I gonna get out of this situation? So I'm like 1, 2, 3, and I jump out of the way and let go, and the whole thing comes crashing down. So that goes into my journal of failure, mistake. I made the mistake. Now, I'm not just documenting this to beat myself up. The reason why is because I then write down why. What did I do wrong? Well, I rushed it. I wanted it done that day. I didn't take the time. I didn't ask questions. I didn't vet the person. I know this stuff. I know how to hire people. I know how to do a good job, but I just wanted it done. And I didn't take the steps. I didn't do it 9 or better. I did it at a level of 4, okay? I didn't do 9 or better. So I was able to, think about this and come up with that. And every time that I have a failure, I want to come up with why. What did I make mistakes? What did I learn from it? And turn it into a positive experience. And those failures, right? See, when you look at it that way, those failures, those are my achievements. That's a great thing. That's my trail of learning, right? And that's a valuable thing. I'm like, oh, I got to capture all these failures. Now I'm seeing failures and mistakes that I make as valuable things. Why did I make that mistake? What can I learn from it? These are the nuggets of treasure. So I'm going a lot of different directions here. I know some of you are like, you don't get this. You don't get this channel. I go in a lot of directions. I'm sorry about that, but that's just how it is. You're just gonna have to deal with it, or you're gonna have to get out of here. But I hope you get this. I hope you understand that it's not about years of experience. It's about this. And I'm giving you this message because this is the bigger philosophy of life that's going to get you to where you want to go. Because if you have this philosophy, if you're not afraid of failure, if you're collecting them like badges of honor, and you're learning from those experiences, and you're stretching yourself, and you're reaching beyond, you're going to climb so much further and so much faster than you would if you just take the easy leap to that stone that you know you can make it. Fall in the river a few fucking times. Get wet. Right? What's the worst that's going to happen, right? Embarrassment is nothing. It's nothing. It's ego. You need to get rid of ego anyway. So the more you can be embarrassed, the more you can fail, the more you can hit your head, right? And still get up, the better it is. That's all I got for you on this one. If you want to not take the easy path in life, I got a task for you. Click that subscribe button below, and I promise you, I will not let you off the hook. I will not let you take the easy path in life. Join the other subscribers here if you haven't already. If you have already, I appreciate you. If you really want to be a super subscriber, click that little bell and you'll get a notification every time I release a video, so you can make sure you get every video. Take care.